I have with me here the Botanica Tarot, which is created by an illustrator, Kevin J. Stanton. This was published in 2017 through an art gallery, which name I can't remember. If I can find that again, I will link it down below. I believe at the time he was also selling some of his paintings, which was done on wood, I believe. I think it's wood. And the write-up of the 22 major arcana here wasn't complete at the time because I could only find sporadically scattered around the website only of a few of these cards, of these images, of these stories, of these 22 major mysteries of the tarot here. And I can't find my record of them. I sort of cut and paste, whatever I can find by Googling around. And I placed them somewhere and I can't find it again. But I did read them out loud in a previous video, which I posted in 2017, just after I received this. And I will link that up here in the eye in the sky and at the end of this video. So I wish I had been fast enough to snag the original painting of this one. I absolutely adore this. This is of the sun. But I think by the time I found him, this was already sold. I can't remember. But I really love the art style. I could have this on my wall. And I love this as well. This is the other one I really love. And I love how simple and elegant it is, how stark the contrast is between the black, pitch, solid black background with this highly colored, highly nuance and gradations of colors, the three-dimensionality and the spark of color against the flat black background. What I also love the most is the fact that there's no words, nothing but simple icons to indicate what card you're looking at. And there's a little piece of paper here. So again, for the write-up of some of these cards, because I think at the time he hadn't finished writing up the whole of the 22 arcanas, please refer to my reading them out loud on the other video, which I posted 3 years ago, up in the eye in the sky there, and at the end of this video. So these are the keywords, or these are the key for each of the symbols, which is, if you look at it, they're for the most part quite self-explanatory. So I'll let you freeze that and browse at your own leisure. And I did back this on Kickstarter and then I canceled it. And the reason why I canceled it is because visually speaking, I'm sure if I read the compendium, which I may have to get, it's only $10, I believe. Was it 20? I can't remember. But currently it is being published through Beehive Books. So I may order a couple of their books to make the shipping cost worthwhile. But the compendium will cover more than just the 22 major mysteries of the tarot here, and that's, I suppose, if that's the only way for me to obtain a better story and understanding of the depictions here to contemplate with, then so be it. And so if you haven't already noticed, I do use this for contemplation and meditation, for insight seeking, more than for divination. I suppose if you use this for divination, perhaps the 78 cards is essential, especially if you read that way, unless you're reading it the continental style with majors only. But for me, because I use this for contemplation, I can sit with one card for a month. And so 78 cards are actually quite overwhelming for me in that respect. Not that I've done such contemplation with the cards lately. But if I were to come back to do that, if there's going to be a time in my life where I need, to grab my first 8 emotional toolkit again, then that would be how I use these ones. Because they're stories surrounding the plants and what the plants mean and all that, and which for me is more conducive to insight seeking and self-reflection. And so it's a pretty it's a pretty intense for me. 22 is sufficient. And also visually speaking, when I looked at the cards, the minors, I feel, to me personally, the mixing between plants and other objects within each cards visually didn't work out for me. And in terms of visual storytelling, in terms of visual storytelling, it didn't work out very well for me personally, and therefore it isn't as inspiring, and therefore as a tool for meditation and insight seeking, I have concluded that they weren't going to be as effective for me. So so these are just showing you how the cards, I was going to say originally look like, but this is the first production and publication of the currently fully funded on Kickstarter Botanica Tarot, which has a lot more bling and it's gilded around the edges. It has metallic stamping on the back. I believe it has a metal box, and some of the special editions are very, very bling indeed. This one is a little bit more humble, plain satin finish, quite sturdy cardstock, very nice to shuffle this way or this way. The consistency is and the density of the cards are pretty good. So I'm not sure if this is still on sale. I mean, with the very jazzed up 78 card version of it, why would you want to look for this one, right? But I thought I'll just show this to you. Even though I have showed this to you 3 years ago, my opinion of it have moved slightly. Well, not by much, really, in terms of the 22 cards, these ones, but in terms of the 78 cards that's finally is currently being in the process of coming into being. I think the artwork is just amazing, but I personally think, for me personally, I think the 78 cards might be stretching it a little bit for me personally. So I am not sponsored by Kevin. I paid this full price plus international shipping to New Zealand. And this is currently fully funded on Kickstarter through Beehive Books. I believe you will be able to purchase afterwards. You just might not get the perks. So yeah, let me know how you're doing with your 78 card sets, whether it works for you as a full quote unquote. To me, 22 are quite full enough, especially for ones like these, where each of the stories are quite sophisticated within itself to sit with for a prolonged period of time. But I don't use tarot for divination, so that is where that opinion is coming from. Botanica Tarot, Catherine J. Stanton.